All right, welcome to another episode of Gin and Truth. I'm the captain of this ship, Robert motherfucking Reed. Got a tumble full of handles, got a mind full of thoughts. Let's go. All right, gang, let's jump into this shit. Looks like your boy Uncle Bobby found a second win. And yeah, doubleheader Tuesday. So fuck it, let's do it, gang. The meat of today's rotted sandwich is another one of these fucked up ass 10 questions for atheists thing. Now, this will probably be a shorter than normal intro. Let's see what happens. But Christians, do us all a favor. Please go fuck yourselves. You guys turn around and again accuse us, non believers, of sounding like a broken record. You guys always say the same thing. You want to know why, fuckface? It's because we keep responding to the same bullshit. And again, I've said it before, so let me say this for the 1 millionth time, especially when you were talking about a Christian apologetic fuckface. So my voice just cracked. These aren't conversations, okay? These are scripts. These are flow charts where one answer necessarily has to follow another one. This is why, especially when you talk to like a precept. Oh, you know what? Fuck y'all. Show number 8. Oh yeah. I'm keeping track. Especially when you guys talk about precepts, you get the diabolical patience to ask the same thing. There's a hole in one of these motherfucking. Why are there always flies in my room? Seriously. The diabolical patience got him to ask the same thing over and over and over. Fuck you, I need some hand sanitizer. Over again. It's a script. Again, do you have confidence? 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 Fine, fuck it, I've got confidence. Confide means with. Shut the fuck up. Your whole bullshit is just word game. It's a script. So again, the reason why we atheists sound the same is because we keep responding to the same shit. And again, the reason why they continue to say it, just like precepts stick to the same shit, is for one reason and one reason only. They're never satisfied with our answers because none of our answers begin or end with God done it. How do they solve the problem of infinite regress? God done it. Morality? God done it. Cosmology? God done it. It's this one size fit all excuse. God done it. And the reason why they're never satisfied with our answers is because we're atheists, and atheists will not say God done it. I need one more thing. You guys go fuck yourself. And when there is one that's not necessarily a God done it, they won't accept the answer because the problem with the answer, it's layered. And again, they need sound bites. They don't want actual answers. Like, if Christianity were true, would you become a Christian? They need that yes, no answer. What they, because fuck around and say yes. Oh my God. But either way, it's all the same because fuck around and say, no, I wouldn't become a Christian. Bam, they got you. Now they will take that one clip and play it on loop. See, they don't want there to be God. He just wants to jerk off all over himself. Blah, 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 blah. But they won't listen. What won't listen to is the rest of the answer. Again, if you're just defining a Christian as someone who believes in a God, fine. Show me your God exists, and I will say, I believe you. will I worship the motherfucker? No. Because one, I truly believe worship to be immoral, right? I told you, my parents raised me and Berkey to stand on our own 2 feet. Parents, you know you've done it right when your kids don't need you anymore. With the Christian God, you never get to grow up. You're constantly dependent. You're never good enough, right? And he's an asshole, right? I mean, which one of the million examples can I give? So you're like, well, would you worship him? No, no, he's an asshole. They don't want the answer. And when they do get an answer, they don't want an actual answer. They just want that monosyllabic motherfucking soundbite. Now, I can go all day, but I've said all this shit before. So we're going to go ahead and hit it with the Autobots. Transform, roll out. What do you see? This bullshit. What is this fuckface called? I completely forgot. Hold on. Inspired Walk. 5,400 motherfucking subscribers. Gang, let's get our numbers back up. Do the liking, the subscribing, and all the other bullshit you're supposed to do. Inspired Walk. 10 questions atheists cannot answer. It's not that we can't answer them. It's not, you're not going to like the answer because we're not going to sit here and play this fucked up ass game. Okay, now this is going to be sitting on some bullshit. You guys ready? Let's roll the tape. Okay, be more like Jesus Christ. Pause the tape already. 8 seconds and be more like Jesus Christ. Threaten people with eternal torment. Tell people that if you lust after someone, you're all kinds of fucked up. Talk about all the bullshit that you go into work tomorrow and start flipping over tables and say, I don't like shit, so fuck you and your family, and whatever the fuck Jesus did. Roll the tape.
Do you really believe that science is the only answer to all of life's questions?
Pause the tape. That's number one. He looks familiar. Did I do a show on this fuck face? Who knows? Who cares? We're going to do this anyway. First take only, motherfuckers. Hold on. What did he say? The science answer everything. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Does science, I mean, does it answer everything scientific? No. We're still working on it. That's the best part about science. He actually looks familiar. I've either seen his shit or maybe I've done a show on his face before, or I don't know, maybe my Lenovo days I've done this. We're doing this. I don't care what you guys say. Go fuck yourself. Back on topic. Does science answer everything? No, it doesn't. And science actually tells you we don't know. And what we don't know, we will work furiously to try to get an actual answer. So I guess to answer the question, does it answer everything scientific? No, it doesn't. And the best part about science, it admits it. Roll the tape.
The answer to all of life's questions?
Yeah, I mean, what did all the life's questions? No. Will my Saints win the Super Bowl? Science can't measure that. It is subjective. I think pineapple on pizza is a sign of Satan. So I mean, this whole is to me. One, I think it's a stupid question because it's coming out of a Christian's mouth, and two, I don't think it's a good one. So I can do this all day long. The science and well, I mean, maybe you can measure it. What's better, a Chevy or a Ford? Right? Again, we can do this all fucking day. Roll the tape.
If God doesn't exist, why do you care if people...
Pause the tape. Number two, why do atheists care if people worship God? I don't think it's a good idea, just like I don't think it's a good idea to put pineapple on pizza, but I cannot stop you. I can't stop you, Inspired Walk. I can't stop you. I don't think it's a good idea. So I've got 2 things for you. 1, keep that bullshit to yourself. 2, as long as your God, your Jesus makes you say and do good things, then I like your Jesus, right? And again, I remember, I've said this on Twitter, it would happen just last week. That church group was out in front of a store where I make my groceries, calling us all names, sodomite faggots, holding up signs. heaven or hell, turn or burn, all this other shit. Right? It's like, so yeah. That's putting it in my face. So now I do care if you worship. Still, it's been a while because I actually hung a sign finally with my dumbass. Don't knock on my door. Right? If you are at my front doorstep, it's probably because I invited you. And if that's the case, I already know about what time you'll walk in. So just walk in. Don't bother ringing the doorbell. One, it's annoying. Two, what do you think I'm going to change my mind on your drive over? No, just walk your monkey ass in. And two, I don't want to hear my boys go nuts over the fucking doorbell. Right? They bark enough as it is. Right? But yeah. Until I hung that sign, I would still get, watch, they're gonna bark. Right? And I got a Christian out my door asking me, have I heard the good word? No, I'm nuts. I'm 20 years your fucking senior, born and raised in the South, born and raised in the Bible Belt. And no, I've never heard of Jesus Christ. Please shut the fuck up. I still get letters, handwritten, from local churches. I haven't put my name on any motherfucking register. It's been decades since I've done that, but I still get letters inviting me to service. Why do we care if people worship God? I'll speak for all atheists. We don't. We just want you to keep that bullshit to yourself. Roll the tape.
Worship him. Seriously, can nothing create something?
Okay, pause the tape. Question number 3, Christians, can you shut the fuck up and listen to an actual scientist? You want to know why get this fuck face. Let me go over here to StreamYard so I can talk to you guys. Are you guys, again, do you ever get tired of sounding like fucking morons? This has been explained. This is my second cocktail of the day. You guys think I'm bullshitting? Just so you know, there's no tonic in this motherfucker. 0. This has been answered by people way more qualified and infinitely more sober than I am right now. Can something come from nothing? One, we don't have a nothing to measure. And more importantly, we don't, right? The universe, that's what he's talking about, right? It's already been said by people way more educated on this topic than I am. We don't know. We don't know what happened 1 second before the Big Bang. But admitting ignorance is why it is we are able to go and look for the answer. About to belch. I just belch, hashtag unprofessional. Y'all's monkey ass already think that you got the mots. I just belch again, hashtag unprofessional. What do you guys always say? Oh, I believe in the Big Bang. God said it and bang, it happened. Yeah, that's actually, I've seen that on bumper stickers. Real talk. Sounds stupid than a motherfucker. It does. And if you guys would ever shut the fuck up and stop quoting bumper stickers, you would finally understand how uneducated that question is. Roll the tape.
If you've never been to the ends of the earth, if you've never been to every planet, if you've never been to every part of the universe, how do you know?
Oh, pause the tape. Go fuck yourself. Now that question actually hurts my feelings. But I've never been to the ends of the earth. Shut the fuck up. How do I know God doesn't exist? If you just want to play this game, fine. Because a timeless, spaceless, immaterial, disembodied mind makes about as much sense as a 6'7" midget. But here, let me ask you the exact same question. If you haven't been to every continent on the planet Earth, if you haven't been to all 9 planets, if you've never been to the edge of the observable universe, how do you know Allah doesn't exist? You see how this is just some stupid fucking game? Where do I plug this in? I can say the exact same thing to you guys, and your only comeback will be, well, God is timeless, spaceless, immaterial, disembodied. You know that God exists. You know that pizza can take a nap? Fucking save your breath. That's just a stupid question. It is. Oh, God, why do I make these stupid videos? Roll the tape.
That God doesn't exist. What is the origin of life?
Okay, pause the tape. That's a little bit too broad. What's the origin of my life? 52 years ago, Burke fucked Carrie. That's how I came to be. Now, if you want to talk about life in general, oh God, Bundy, I'm gonna fuck this up all the way. I don't know, the abiogenesis and then molecules and then then sperm and egg and I don't know, heat and science and shit. I don't know. What is the origin of life? I just think that's a really bad fucking question. But again, the difference between religion and science is if religion doesn't know, they act like they do. If science doesn't know, they admit it and then they say, let's go work honestly to go find the answer. Roll the tape.
If humans are animals, then where does our sense of justice?
Pause the tape. Science has already kind of answered that, if I'm not mistaken. This is why we have sociology. Again, it is real talk. I have had multiple concussions that have had lasting effects. I drink a little bit of alcohol. I'm an insomniac. I live with bipolar mood disorder. If you just want to sit here and knock my brain power, you swing for the motherfucking fences. It's easy to make me sound stupid, but science, right? Science. Where does morality come from? Why do we have morals? If you ask my dumbass, I'll just sit here and tell you a couple million years ago, one ape did this to another ape. That ape said, ow, stop fucking doing that, dumbass. So he was like, well, that doesn't feel good if you so don't do it. Okay, we've got morality. I don't know. But sociology could possibly give you the answer you're looking for. But you don't want an answer, do you? You want someone to say, God done it. Well, guess what? I told you the difference between an excuse and an explanation. When you get an explanation, you stop asking questions. When you get an excuse, you ask 25 more. Where does morality come from? There's a whole branch of science, and we like to call that sociology, the study of human behavior. Stop asking Turk, stop asking Lane, stop asking Brueggen Kate, stop asking Comfort, stop asking all those idiots. Enroll in a college, major in sociology, maybe. Maybe you can become an actual PhD level social scientist. But you're not going to do that, are you? You just want to sit here and watch these stupid ass videos and just say, God done it. Okay, roll the tape.
Where does our sense of morality, where does our sense of what's right and what's wrong come from?
Scientist.
If you were given irrefutable evidence that
Pause the tape. If Christianity were true, would you become a Christian? No. Again, if you're defining a Christian as someone who believes in a God, then I guess I'm a Christian. Show me that motherfucker exists, and I will say, there he is. Would I worship him? No. I told you, I think he's immoral. Well, Uncle Bobby, why do we have to follow your sense of morality? You don't. Again, your little fucked up ass games do not address reality 1 ounce. See, in the grown up world, we have these things called disagreements where we don't have to agree. And again, I think it's moral that my house doesn't burn down. You think it's moral that you burn my house down. We have a disagreement. And as long as all you do is talk about it way over there, think about it, I can't stop you. Therefore, I don't care. Now, when I see you at the edge of my property line and you've got gasoline in this hand and a box of matches in this hand, I'm coming out and I'm whipping your monkey ass. As long as your actions do not, as long as your words are just your words, you can scream it from the mountaintop. But the moment I see action, now I have to return that energy. Right? So again, this is what where the fuck was I going with that? Who gives a shit? Let's just pick it up here. Again, if you had evidence about, no, I would not be a Christian because, that's what I was talking about, disagreements. I think your God is immoral and you don't have to agree with me on what morality is. Well, I've got an ultimate standard for what we call moral. That's great. I still disagree with you. I don't want my house to burn. You think my house should burn. You do something about it, you're going to have a motherfucking problem. I think your God is fucking immoral. I don't care that pizza can take a nap. I don't care that you claim that you don't know if rape is bad or not. We have a difference of opinion, which means we now have a difference in this case in values and morality. And gang, if there's one thing I know for a fact, is no relationship can survive when you don't see eye to eye on values. I would not invite this motherfucker over to my house. I would not pour him any alcohol. I would not be his friend. Because if these are the type of games you're playing, again, conservative, Republican, gang, there's a lot of me that is actually Republican. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm just not a MAGA person. Republican speaks to what you believe to be politically and socially correct. MAGA is a source of ethics. I can't be your fucking friend if you are MAGA. You support a rapist, a liar, just a piece of shit, he is horrible, right? Same, because we don't have the same values, is my point. If you are a Christian on this tip and you want to debate on whether rape is wrong or not, I can't be your friend. I can be friends with people that I don't agree with. But if we don't have a value base, then no, absolutely not. And that's how I feel about Christianity. Again, if your Jesus makes you say and do good things, I like your Jesus, right? Something tells me his Jesus, I wouldn't like. So we can't be friends. Roll the tape.
The God of the Bible is real. Would you become a Christian? Tell me something.
What?
If evolution is real, and if evolution is really happening, how come there are no trends?
Pause the tape. Bud, do you want to take this bullshit? What do I say about this? Huh? Again, but this is look at his face. That's the problem. Why are there no transitional forms? He clearly is someone who has never talked to an actual evolutionary biologist. Bundy, I'm going to talk for you. You'll debate this motherfucker right after you debate people who think that Santa Claus is real and storks bring babies. Anyone out there with medical training? Let me ask you something. Would you debate someone on the efficiency of putting butter on burns, cuts, and abrasions? Or would you say maybe we should clean that out and dress the wound? Would you debate someone who's still, by the way, I told y'all, I'm old enough to where I've had butter, olive oil, all kinds of bullshit put on my wounds because once upon a time, we actually thought that was real. Now we know it traps heat and germs. And it's the last thing you should possibly do other than maybe roll around in topsoil. That's sitting on some bullshit. But let's get to this. If you are still, wait for just a second. How old is this video? From 8 years ago. In video world, that's a long time ago. But 8 years ago, we still had the internet. What were we up to? The iPhone 8, 9, 10? Let's see if she'll talk this time. Let's go. Turn that. Fuck it. Hey, Siri. What is evolution? So if you were just to ask Siri, evolution, change in the heritable characteristics of biological populations over successive generations. Let's click on that real fast. Let's take a look here. Man, there's a long ass explanation with a lot of big words that I can't fucking pronounce. It occurs when evolutionary processes such as natural selection and genetic drift act on genetic variation, transitional forms. I think Bundy, man, you talk. Why am I doing this, man? I sweat for a living. The process of evolution has given rise to biodiversity at every level. Again, 8 years ago, we still had Siri and Alexa, the internet, all that, laptops. Well, 8 years ago, let's just say that was 2014, 2015, 16. Fuck it. If in 2016 you are still asking why are there no observable transitional forms, one, you don't own a mirror. What the fuck do you think you are? And two, this is why we have the bullshit, the crocoduck. This is what Kirk Cameron said. This is some real Ray Comfort level understanding of what evolution is. Because according to them, that's why you get the crocoduck. Why is it that a monkey didn't fuck a roach that then had sex with a kitten, which then had sex with a bird-eating tarantula that didn't have sex with a bovine? Well, if that didn't happen and we don't have the crocoduck, is evolution true? Take that bullshit to the kiddie table. Take your big jumbo crayons and your 3-word word find and the bullshit like that. Maybe we'll put on an Elmo tape. I love you. You love me. We're one happy family with the big old. Shut the fuck up. If after all this time and all the information that is available, and you are still asking about no observable transitional forms, you are impervious to absorbing new information. Roll the tape. Fuck me.
Transitional forms that we can observe. Do you live according to what you believe, or do you live your life according to what?
Pause the tape. I actually like this question. Let's call him Derek. Derek, I live according to what it is I do believe. Atheism only speaks to one part of me. Do you believe that a God exists? No. What else would you like to talk about? I told you guys, I have given away more self-defense lessons than what it is I've charged for. Because my rule still stands. Do not let money be the reason why it is you don't take a self-defense lesson. I believe it to be important, so I spread the word the best that I can. And what's a Christian going to say? If there is no objective morality, why do you... Kiddie table. Kiddie table. I'm not going to debate this bullshit with you. So, Derek, I live my life according to what it is I do believe. Roll the tape.
You lack in belief. If God doesn't exist and the Christian dies, the Christian loses nothing. But if...
Okay, pause the tape. Pascal's wager. You cannot be serious. We're only halfway through this video, and he said there's only 10 questions. This ought to be interesting. Pascal's wager. Fucking save it. But right here on my screen, if God exists, will you not lose your soul when you die? Derek, I don't believe in the soul. And again, you guys are so obsessed with death that I truly believe you guys forget to live. I'm only 52. And according to my family history, I'm on the motherfucking clock. And I've always said, since I was a teenager, I am simply trying to squeeze as much life into this life as I possibly can. My family's not really known for its longevity, so here I am trying to live my life, doing what I want. I believe, and you don't have to agree, that what I want to do is putting more good in the world than what I'm putting in bad, right? So yeah. If you're just gonna, again, why do you atheists sound the same? Because we keep responding to the same shit. Derek, if you have the ability to upload and launch this video and have almost 6,000 fucking followers, you know there's a such thing called the internet. You can look this up. Roll the tape. This motherfucker.
God does exist and you die as an atheist, do you not lose more? Will you not?
Pause the tape. If all you got is a threat, because that's all it is. If you, Derek, die and I'm right that there is no God, you're worm from food. If you're right, Derek, and I'm wrong, I get tortured forever. That's just a threat. Again, you are worshiping an asshole. Because that's just what you gave me. A threat. Roll the tape.
Not lose your soul. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 3 says, By faith, we understand that the universe was created by the word of God, so that what is seen was not made out of
I've heard it
things
before.
that are visible. Now, just because we can't visibly see something, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
Pause the tape. He's right. Right. If I'm not mistaken, we've never really seen an atom. We just know the effects of atoms. And we may not be able to see the wind, but I'm looking out of my window right now and the leaves are a rustling, which means clearly there's some wind. It's just not stagnant. Now, all a Christian can do right now is you're right. We can't see God. We can see the effects of God. Yeah, I know we can't. Please go fuck yourself. But what are you talking about? Right? I've asked Christians that before. Like, well, you can't see love. Shut the fuck up. Again, go talk to a goddamn sociologist. Why are you talking to my dumbass about this bullshit? But again, I love it how it is, right? We describe God as a dude. He, him, heavenly father, right? We give him dude-like qualities, and then they compare him to something abstract like love or some shit that we can't see. Christians, you can't have it on 952 fucking ways. You're right. There's some things that we can't see, but we can measure the effects of. Right? Sometimes you can't see the physical manifestations of electricity. Most times you just have to know that shit is there. Like right now, I'm looking at my little E frame over there. It's pretty fucking cool. You guys should get one. There's El Senor, Mr. Bubs asleep on my chair, even though he's not supposed to be there. There's a picture of my mom and dad. That's the first family picture we ever took, which means that's about like 1978, 1979. I was like 5 years old. There's a duplicate of it. Well, let's see what's next. Hold on. Come on, E-frame. Let's don't make me look like a lot. Gang, my mom is really attractive. Clearly, I like this picture because it came up 3 fucking times. Well, let's see if something different is okay. Come on. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Another one of my mom and dad. This is when I think they were in Italy. That's Italy. That is Italy. There's a good couple right there. And they're clearly older. And I don't think my dad's body went to shit. There's Colorado. Hot damn. My point is that frame doesn't charge, so it has to be plugged in. My point is there's Etrigan. Etrigan and Jason Blood. If you don't know who that is, Google it. My point is I can't see electricity, but I can see the effects of electricity because that frame cannot run unless electricity is a running. Can you guys hear the fan? What I always tell you guys, if it sounds like there's a fan in the background, it's because there is a fan in the background. Can you guys see that? Just barely. That thing cannot run unless it's plugged in. There's my cousin holding Buddy. So again, if your God, there's my aunt, if your God was a fraction as measurable and demonstrable as the electricity, this conversation would be over. And you know that. Roll the tape.
We cannot see God, but it doesn't mean that God doesn't exist. For example, we cannot see the wind, but we do feel the wind. We also feel the effects of the wind. And
pause the tape. This is clearly a script because I was told this almost 15 fucking years ago. Roll the tape.
We also experience the movement of the wind. And so the truth is, creation itself testifies of an all-powerful and
pause the tape. You guys ever get tired of quoting Ray Comfort? Seriously, stop it. Hold on, I'm looking this person up. Well, that was from 2013. I'm not going to say her name, even though this is public. Oh, man.
That's what Ronnie wanted to show to the Libyan people, and that's he wanted to shine the light and the love of Jesus to the Libyan people that he knew. He really did. He didn't want any attention onto himself about being a good guy or a good teacher or the fun teacher. It was just about the love and the forgiveness that we know from God.
Gang, let me tell you something. This is hard to watch. So, like I told y'all a while back, this is a lady that I used to know from work. She's lovely. She's beautiful. She's fucking fantastic. And my point is, she was the first one to say that to me, right? You can see the effects of God. It's like, actually, no, you can't. Now, I told you this story. Matter of fact, pause the tape in the tape. I'm gonna end it on this. This guy's sitting on some bullshit. Let's end it on this. This speaks to the power that this indoctrination has. And I'm looking again. She's phenomenal. Or at least she was. They went to a incredibly Muslim portion of the world and literally thought it was their place to knock on other people's doors and tell them, yeah, by the way, the life you're leading, it's wrong. It's wrong. Yeah, I know you believe in the whole Islam and shit. And let me tell you something, it's all kinds of fucked up. You want to know how not to be fucked up? Again, gang, if you walk into my house and you tell me that my house is ugly, I'm just going to say, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of my house. That's just me in my house. Again, I'm not bashing this lady at all. I actually miss her because she moved. But you're knocking on, again, Christians, just think about how touchy you are. Again, I simply, on Easter about 2 years ago, fed Cy Tim Bruggen Kate. I'm going to listen to this later. I'm just going to look at her beautiful ass face. I fed Cy Tim Bruggen Kate the exact same script he fed everyone else. He got so touchy and offended, he blocked me. I didn't call him a name, nothing. Just everything he says to atheists, I said back to him, he blocked me. That's how sensitive you Christians are. So imagine walking, and you live in a Christian nation. You do, right? Or predominantly Christian. And then you go to some place that's predominantly Muslim, and you go and tell those people, you are wrong. I'm not placing blame. I think it's sad. But gang, her husband was shot in the middle of the fucking street like a goddamn rabid dog. And my point of all this is, and I'm looking at the words, wife of American killed to husband's attackers. I love you and I forgive you. Now, if that's who she really is, fine. But you won't even allow yourself to be mad. The indoctrination is so powerful, right? I mean, fuck. And this isn't victim blaming. And I'll get back to the 10 questions thing. But I keep looking at videos like this, and since I know this lady, again, this became national news. This is on CNN. That man should still be alive. But this message is so fucked up, and they believe it so much that they're willing to risk their lives. Now, there are things that are risk. It's worthy, right? I'm thinking about all the little girls in my life, the little girls at the front desk and all. And if someone walked into my place of work, again, I've got 52 years underneath my belt. Had great memories in this scenario. The first thing I would do was to find that child and put my body. I'm starting to get emotional because I'm starting to think about one in particular where I was just talking about it and I missed the shit out of her. The first thing I'm doing is throwing my body on top of hers. Human shield, right? Get rid of my old ass. Let her continue. That's worthy. But to defend apparently the most powerful being the universe has ever known, because apparently this motherfucker created this universe and he needs humans to defend his honor, she should still be married to this motherfucker. But when he was shot in the middle of the goddamn street like a dog to tell a whole bunch of Muslims, you're doing it wrong. That's just sitting on some bullshit. Let's go back to the 10 questions. Gang, Uncle Bobby's only giving you one big motherfucking problem. So as a result, Uncle Bobby's going to give you one big motherfucking solution. Christians in general, shut the fuck up. We atheists sound the same. I just belch hashtag unprofessional because you don't change your message. It added to it, hashtag unprofessional. You guys keep asking the same shit. So we keep responding to the same shit. And what makes it frustrating is these things actually have answers. And yeah, you're right. Sometimes the answer is we don't know. But you're just so hell-bent on defending this garbage that you sound fucking stupid. Right? We're still talking about evolution. Right? Well, it's only a theory. Then you don't know what scientific theory is. All theory means in science is it's falsifiable. And there's a difference between a layman's theory and a scientific theory. Right? For those of you that keep up with football, Shedeur Sanders got absolutely fisted. And in my opinion, the answer is yeah, very well deserved. Way too much hype with not enough production. Is he a good player? Yeah. Is he a game-changing player? No. He got his jersey retired after 2 years at Colorado. He didn't deserve that. My theory is I think at best he will be a journeyman in the NFL. That is my theory. A scientific theory is different because it is quite literally the highest point, graduating point that an observation can gain. Germs are still just a theory. Gravity is still just a theory, just like evolution is still just a theory. You guys are still arguing over shit that is a Google search. A Google search. That's why you guys keep asking the same stupid fucking questions. Hence the frustration in all of our voices. Because the problem is Christians, and I'm talking about Christians in America, because that sucker had an accent, so he could be from somewhere else. But he sounds just like the motherfuckers here in the States. The reason why it is frustrating is because you as a team, and like it or not, gang, we are teammates with MAGA, with motherfucking conservative Christian, all of them. You may not like it, but those are the facts. And as a team, you are only as fast as your slowest relay member. You understand that? A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. And here we are in 2025, and people still believe that a timeless, spaceless, immaterial, disembodied mind exists. At least down here in the South, that was a major reason. Not the only reason, but a major fucking reason why women lost their ability to choose what to do with their body. They call this a victory for God. All life is sacred, except for the ones that don't believe as we do. Then they are fucked. We still have to carry this primitive idea into the modern era. I'm talking to people that aren't even in America right now. I've got a computer right here called an iPhone, and it's more powerful and more sophisticated than the shit we used in the 60s to launch people to the goddamn moon. And we are still having to have ridiculous discussions based on what happened in primitive Palestine. This is sitting on some bullshit. That's why we are frustrated. Christians, we will change our tune the moment you change yours. All right, gang, the big guys held you long enough. We're signing the fuck off. Gin and Truth, let's go. All right, it's been a while since we've had a double header. Hope you guys liked it.